Hey, Paradox for JuanSource.com, and I'm going to be doing a demo commentary today on somebody else's match this time. So this is going to be the first time I'm doing this commentary on a different player, different team, and I'm going to be taking a look at a KBS demo, keyboard smashers against dynamic, and this is a point of view demo of ridic, which is one of the better operas in the game right now. So we're going to be taking a look at him on Contra. This is a ESCA match for Season 3. Okay, so piss around. We see ridic just playing the middle, and he's going to be playing the middle the entire match here. He spots a guy. Now, if you notice, he used a couple nades, and I'm sorry, ridic, I'm just going to have to break down your play here and there, because it's my job. But, you know, he just kind of used two nades that didn't really do anything for him. Now, this piss around, he spotted middle in the beginning and then spotted the window, saw a guy go into the connector and then kind of cut him off, never really let him out. His team's going to do most of the work this round. It was mainly B strat by dynamic, but just overall pretty standard basic play. He didn't spot anybody in middle, so he started focusing over on the B site. Assuming calls were made over at the B site, and he rotated over. So once again, I want to kind of get into this here. Just using your nades, you really want to use them for something. You don't really want to just toss a nade to toss a nade. I mean, it really makes no sense. You buy nades and you're just going to use them for no reason. This round, like exactly right there what I was talking about, ridic used a flash and didn't really do anything. Maybe his teammate played off of it, but I mean, if just in general, I personally would have peeked after that really quickly, assuming, you know, the other team's blind or something like that. If you're just going to toss a nade to toss a nade and not do anything off of it, then, you know, why even toss in the first place, you know? But overall, this round pretty basic, simple eco. And what I do like that they did is that KBS played kind of selectively aggressive. They didn't play completely passive, but they played selectively aggressive. They didn't really like just try to push and run into the other team one by one, because that's the worst thing you could do on ecos, is try to be hero and try to fight, you know. Sometimes, usually, you're going to be fighting a big group on eco, and trying to push on your own and just be overly aggressive like that is going to be a risk that you don't need to take whatsoever. So that's the eco. Now, this round, you see ridic's going to spot the middle early on, and he makes a really good play. I think falling back at that point instead of trying to fight and be a hero like I was talking about is not going to be the thing to do. So here he's playing once again selectively aggressive. He's not really sitting out in the open running around trying to frag. He's taking a few shots here and there and still controlling the middle. Notice what he does, prevents the other team from pushing all the way up mid. Now originally, from what it looked like, was that dynamic wanted to maybe send 3 or 4 players up the middle, but ridic was there with the MP5 and he was using his movement really well, and taking a few shots here and there, and that kind of just made him not want to go middle anymore, because he's going to pick off maybe 1 or 2 before they even got there. Just being able to use his environment and peek in and out, you know, and pick people off like that. That's really just a really smart way to play, and that's really what you want to do over at middle, especially on Contra here. Is you want to just play selectively aggressive, not overdo it, but once again, don't give up all that map control. If you fall back into CT spawn, you open up that sand pit. You open up, you know, sand pit to A and to B. They could even drop in the sewer. So you really don't want to give up control middle, but you do want to play a little cautious. So just good ecos played by KBS. They didn't really get picked off or anything like that. Here ridic's going to spot one guy middle in the beginning, and this is kind of interesting. KBS played 2 players over at middle with ops. One guy spotting the cross on the bridge, and then ridic playing the middle and peeking down the middle with the op. Now, that's, if we think about that, that's not a bad thing to do if your A players playing over at the middle and supporting in the beginning, because a lot of teams first off on gun rounds aren't going to rush into the A bomb site. They're going to work it kind of systematically, and even then you could rotate that secondary player, assuming your opper over at A is playing in the back hall. He could play middle in the beginning and spot the crossover to B, and you could still have your middle player play middle like Ridic's doing, like they're doing every single round right now. I really like this idea that they have. Never really thought about that too much, playing two people in the middle. And if we look at a radar now, this guy also against the B rush, another benefit this has is that against the B rush, now you have 4 players that are able to rotate really quickly. You have your middle guy, and you have your secondary A player that can rotate really quickly. One can go spawn, and the other can do what Ridic's doing, work through the middle, flank around the plank, and all that. So, kind of good ideas being employed here. So once again, I mean, you do eventually want to rotate that second player to A. I don't know how quickly they do that, but once again, Ridic just using a worthless grenade. I'm gonna pick on you a lot about that, bud, but I mean, really, just a big thing. You don't want to waste your nades. Why would you ever do that? Now, see, that other flashbang didn't really do. His flashbangs Ridic doesn't really use too well. I really like the smoke that he used, and he's just gonna gives himself a lot of extra cover and all that. In middle, a lot more room to move, and also they don't really know where he's gonna be either. So that one smoke alone would make any team not want to go middle. So you just see a lot of rotations too. Once Ridic thinks that they're gonna hit a site, or they're hitting A or B based on calls of his teammates, he rotates over and tries to get involved, and that's that's a good thing to do. Dynamics really kind of, I don't really know what they're doing on their T side, but they seem kind of disoriented, because they're working bomb sites, but they're never getting into the bomb site. Like, Ridic has so much time to rotate, and by the time he's rotated, he can just peek down and play the position of, say the lower A guy that was playing, and say the lower A died, Ridic can just run on over from middle and then take over for that guy, because they haven't, dynamic never really advances. And that's a big concept on T side too, is if you're gonna get an entry pick, you want to make something out of it. I mean, either fall back, or if you continue going, there's like a window of opportunity. And I'm just gonna not commentate on the frags and just go into a concept here. It's just using that window of opportunity of, if you get an entry pick, say at the A bomb site, and the guy's gonna, obviously the other team's gonna be inclined to rotate, especially if they get a bomb call or something like that. They're gonna be inclined to rotate. Now, every map has a sort of different amount of time that it takes to rotate, so you don't want to go in the time where everyone's gonna be rotated at that point. Say it takes 5 seconds to rotate for Ridic to rotate. You don't want to get that entry pick and then hit the site in 5 seconds, because you're gonna run into every person that's rotated there. You get what I'm saying? So like, what you want to do is either go right away, or you want to delay more, and maybe you get that entry pick and spread the map thin a little bit. So, just wanted to go off on that tangent a little bit and talk about that. Just overall, I mean, Ridic's controlling this middle really well with the op, and playing fearless enough. He's playing confident, but he's not taking too many risks at the same time. So this right here, really important, just falling back after that op shot and being ready. Normally an AK will chase you. If you're really close up against an AK, you can almost, good players, what they do is they anticipate that guy to try to come after him, because what all AKers do, what all riflers do, a vast majority and a great majority of the time, is that if they get, they make that opper miss close range, they're going to come for the follow-up. They're not going to let that opper reload or fall back. They're going to try to push in that window of time, and they're going to try to pick that guy off. So, just in general, be ready. In the case that Ridic played in that sand connector there, you know, he kind of fell back, and as he's falling back, he's ready for that guy to peek out. Now that guy never did peek out, and he kind of took his time. But if he did, then ridic, you know, was ready, had his deagle out and all that. Sometimes I may even post up and pre-fire that, like, you know, just pre-fire that that angle, knowing the guy's gonna come. So here, I don't really understand why he's flashing that in the sand, because I mean, if they do get there, the only thing that flash is gonna do is get him caught with a nade out while they're running out. So and you know, if he does delay, I mean, he was posted up already, so it really doesn't make any sense to use that nade. But just in general, good rotations being made, good shots being made, aside the just questionable use of grenades sometimes and flashbangs. Ridic's playing really good, so a lot of good op shots being hit. I see a lot of sort of to describe this, it's like anticipating where your opponent's going to be as he peaks. So he peaks a certain angle, and he knows he's going to stop in that angle because he knows that his opponent is going to be right there, so he can kind of time stopping his movement, and it looks really, really fast, like he's almost pre-firing it, but he just stops and shoots instantly and utilizes that peeker advantage to the max. So right now, I mean, middle's on lockdown, they can't really do anything. Whenever they've tried to get into that sand connector over towards B, they can't do it. If they try to get a guy up middle, they can't do it because ridic's, you know, opping or deagling him. And then at that point, you know, they're not putting any sort of pressure on the middle. If they do, that one guy dies, and then ridic's just able to rotate to either A or to B, and you have 3 players at A or 3 players at B once you're trying to take a site. Sometimes a man down. So I mean, it's just everything's going right for Cyber. And this middle guy, you think about just people not even playing in a bomb site. This middle guy is so key on this map because he shuts down the middle, and the middle is just a really, if the other team chooses it to be, it could be just a really big pain to deal with, because you get people, you know, running into the CT spawn and whatnot, dropping down in sand, like is going to happen this round, I think. Like right here, you know, Glock's going to rotate the CT spawn. This is what you see happen. Ridic got picked in the middle, and now that's a really bad area to fight, and it's just really difficult. And if you don't fight in that area, then you have to have an A guy cover CT spawn, you have to have a B guy cover CT spawn. Alright, or figure out a different way to play. And that was just a really goofy shot by Tora. I don't really know what to say about that, but so that's gonna be another one. So I would have been really impressed if he won that round, but it's just in general, that middle player, really, the way Ridic's playing it, you guys can all sort of take something from it, and not being too crazy, too aggressive, but being aggressive at the right time. That's the main thing. He's kind of feeling the other team out, and he's saying, alright, you know, sometimes they send one guy middle, and they don't really put too much pressure on me here, so I'm just going to have my way with it. And if that one guy does come, you know, I'm just going to try to frag him. So most of the time it's worked for him. You know, it hasn't worked one round, but you know, that's the risk you have to take. If it works 9 times out of 10, why not? And so he's just controlling the middle, whatever they try to do. This infiltrator guy is usually the guy that works the middle. Whatever he tries to do, Ridic is just, you know, out thinking him and knowing where he's going to be, covering kind of all his bases. You know, he says, all right, well, he's not going to be in the middle this time, so now he's coming sand, and you know, just killing that guy every single time, almost. So really big key to the CT side they're having. They're also holding the sites really well. Just in general, they know that Dynamic typically likes to commit. I don't know if Dynamic's really running a lot of fakes. What it seems like they're doing is they're trying to take a bomb site, and then it takes them way too long to try to take the bomb site, and then everyone's rotated and they die. So this round Ridic gets rushed, playing a little too, you know, maybe a little too passive. Got caught off guard a little bit, and that's going to happen. I mean, if you're, you know, playing different spots, you can't really play the same way every round middle. So sometimes you may just kind of get something unlucky like that happening, but just in general, I just can't get enough of this. Just everyone is in the place that the T's are going to. You know, almost every single time, 3 or 4 players in the bomb site, that dynamic's trying to attack, and it makes it impossible. This is really a T-sided map, in my opinion. If you play it correctly and you play your picks, I think you have the advantage. But just right now, with the combination of that middle being locked down by Ridic, and just in general, locking down sites, delaying the site hits, and having rotators over, KBS is just dominating right now. So Ridic here gets a little aggressive. I know he's been playing in that snake or that B connector, sand connector over there, but just a little too much. I wouldn't really recommend that too much for an opera playing there too often, because exactly what happened. Just, you know, the guy's gonna, AK is gonna come in and fight you close range. You're gonna be at a disadvantage. So looks like, yeah, this is gonna be another round that they lost. So 12-2 half on CT. I mean, just an incredible half for KBS. And talking about concepts, I mean, you don't want to do what Dynamic's doing. It's just everything that they're doing is really not. It's just bad. It's losing them rounds over and over and over. And I really like this idea of playing 2 operas middle in the beginning by KBS. Okay, what Ridic did just there, if really fine detail, if you guys caught that, he scoped in, but he didn't scope in. He wasn't trying to pick. He scoped in kind of at the wall on a random angle, and I personally do that sometimes too. And what that is just, most people expect you to be at a certain angle, so they expect you to be holding and opping a certain angle. So say if you're holding a certain angle, they're gonna try to maneuver around that. But if you're holding a random angle like he was, just, you know, scoped kind of in the middle of nowhere, that's the point where the other player's going to be running through, okay? And that guy's just going to be like, alright, well, this guy's not peeking this. And then Ridic was posted up, say guy ran through there, I guarantee you the kill he would have gotten, the guy would just be running with an AK and have no idea or just no prediction that Ridic would have been there or opping that angle. Playing those random angles is, I mean, whenever you can use it, it's really good, because it just makes people really first off, it gets you easy picks. Second off, it makes people really cautious of running up. I mean, is he going to be off in this angle, or is he going to be moving up here? And you kind of have to work a little differently than you would just running up. Oh well, he's not going to be off in here. You know, I cleared the spot out and he's not going to be there. So it's kind of hard to talk about that. You know, it's just a little fine detail, but I'll definitely try to get into that if I do, for example, a train article or something like that. I'll talk about that a little bit more. So T-side pissed around, just working that upper. I think that CT player made a mistake in trying to peek. You know, maybe anticipating Glocks. I think he got a little too far up and couldn't fall back. And Ridic had a USP. You know, good buy on pissed around, I think. USP and a grenade, or USP and a flashbang. And just, you know, went to work. So this round is going to be lost simply by, I think, just a little bit of bad luck and also over-aggression. That first grenade that came in on the upper A is really huge. Okay, really important. I think using your nades on CT, kind of pre-nading, if you spot somebody running up, like say you think the other team's doing a rush, say to upper A, throwing a nade right in front of it is going to be really great, because number one, it'll either do a ton of damage like it did there, or it'll back them off and it'll give you time to rotate, okay? And most teams are going to try to continue to that eyesight. By that time, you get that window of opportunity in your favor as a CT, having the rotations over there and having the other team trying to continue to that bomb site. It's just going to make life a lot easier on you. So they end up losing this T-piss around. I think, you know, they did get the entry, and it could have really gone either way. I think they may have gotten a little too aggressive on their peaks, playing the advantage, you know, playing the 4-on-3 or 4-on-2, whatever they had. Okay, so this round, what I want to say about what Dynamic did I can't talk, sorry. see, KBS is going to lose this round, but the guy over at B, in a 5-on-2 situation, okay, so you figure this, you have a 5-on-2, 5 CTs against 2 Ts, he tried to push out, tried to be hero, and he got picked off. That allowed a plant for the Ts, and now this is going to be a comfortable buy for the Ts this round. They actually gain a ton of money advantage this round, because last round, even though they only killed one guy, the other team all bought, you know, TMPs, MP5s, maybe FAMAS even. But now, because of both bomb plants, first off, you know, the pistol round bomb plant, and then that second round bomb plant, because of that one little mistake that B player made, KBS is able to full buy. You figure 4,500 for a full AK buy, armor, full nades, and KBS, I'm pretty sure they're going to win this round, just because they have every advantage in the world against Dynamic with AKs, nades, against you know, and full armor against MP5s. So that's just gonna, that should be dominant. So we're gonna see what happens this round. But you figure that one little mistake, just, oh, you know, we're in a 5-on-2, it doesn't matter if I die. That one little mistake that guy made is gonna lose, most likely lose Dynamic this second round. You know, that one mistake that he made, that one death, that maybe if he played more passive and stopped the plant, and now KBS doesn't have a comfortable buy anymore. If he didn't choose to just try to be hero and play bad, for lack of better words, I mean, if he didn't do that, now maybe Dynamic wins this round. But no, see, KBS just outbought him. AKs, full armor, nades against MP5s from the carryover from the second round, and there's really nothing that you can do as a CT to kind of buffer that. You can't rebuy colds or something like that. Say 1 or 2 guys die, you're going to be, no matter what you do, unless you completely save and have one opper, you're going to be in a big disadvantage. Okay, so, and that's exactly what happened. So I just wanted to kind of emphasize the impact of that one little mistake that was made, lost an entire round, and, you know, could swing the whole momentum to the other team. So really important. I mean, don't get careless. Try to play the game right. You know, if you're in a 5-on-4, 5-on-3, 5-on-2, why are you gonna try to be a hero, especially on an eco? You know, and give up a bomb plant and give up money. You know, there's just no reason to do that. And even though Dynamic's gonna come back and win this gun round by some quality opping, you know, that one round they lost, coupled with the fact that they were down 13-2 in the first half, just, you know, you could kind of tie all the strings together. So, you know, I'm kind of ranting at this point about that one little thing, but it's really a big pet peeve of mine, just seeing people get careless, okay? And especially if you're competing, you're in top league, why are you going to get careless? Why? You know, don't beat yourself. Don't do things that are going to beat your team, or make it for easier for the other team to beat you. Why would you ever do something like that? So anyway, I think I've given enough hell to that one guy. But so this round, simple eco. I don't really know how KBS managed to get that bomb plant just running out of upper, pretty uncontested, it seemed like, and I think they may even win this round. So you saw ridic push up on the CT spawn. Early on eco, if you have a Glock, just try to get close range like he did in frag. And, well, I mean, that's Glocketeer going to town. So yeah, I mean, KBS did win that round once again. And you see the importance of that bomb plant in that A bomb site. You get that plant down, and you have, you know, even one guy at the upper, and they can't defuse because they have to worry about that one guy at upper. That one guy can win 1-on-2s, maybe even 1-on-3s if he plays it right. You know, the time's right for him. It's his time to shine. He may even, you know, win that round. So, I mean, eco win for KBS, couple, you know, pretty much brought on by the fact that Dynamic didn't cover upper A at all, really, and just let him take the site on eco and plant. So, you know, then they got a couple guns, and Glocketeer went to work, and that's all that was needed. So this round, I mean, Ridic's just holding T-spawn. I don't really, I guess, you know, maybe anticipated a push all over the place, but, you know, he's just going to pretty much play this T-spawn the whole round now. not much more to say about that. You know, it's just our Dynamic made some. You know, first off, they got completely dominated on their T side, playing the game just not very well. You know, just playing. Ruining that window of opportunity that they have to take bomb sites. You know, going in after everybody's rotated at the point that everyone's rotated. Okay, trying to take sites at that point, not working off picks, and just a good CT side by KBS on that Contra. T side, that pistol round I think could have been won with a little more caution on, you know, after they got the entry picks of the bomb down. If they played a little more back, a little more, you know, cautious, maybe towards the upper side, I think they would have won that round, just, you know, won the match a lot quicker. But nonetheless, I mean, you got to see a few things happen, and even once again, I'm really happy I got to see an example of how one death. Okay, you figure that one death cost the other team a round, an entire round, even though it wasn't that round, the 5-on-2, you know, they won that round. But if that guy was thinking about it, hey, now I allowed a bomb plant, and now they're going to buy this third round, and we're going to lose it. So pretty much my death cost us a round, and now they're up 14-3 or whatever it was at that point, 14-4. So once again, what I want you guys to do, the biggest thing I want you to get from this, besides all the strategy and the, you know, just the Contra stuff, specific stuff, and the opping stuff, is that don't take anything for granted. You know, try to play fundamentally correct. If you have an advantage, try to play that advantage. You know, you don't always want to drop back and play passive, you know, if you get a pick, but most of the time that's the right thing to do. You don't want to get a pick and then give the other team an opportunity to get a pick. Or, you know, you don't just want to play dumb. You don't want to play with some sort of control. Play with discipline. And if you do that, that's what really separates the best team in the world, you know, the best teams in the world, from the good teams and the really good teams. Like, I think KBS is a really good team, or, you know, Dynamic's a good team, but they're not the best, you know. And it's little things like that that separate your complexity from your, you know, from your other teams at the point that they were when they were dominant. You know, those guys just didn't make those little mistakes, maybe once in a great while, but for the most part. And that was really the difference that set those guys apart. And I don't really see that anymore. So once again, you know, kind of getting off on a little tangent, but I really had to emphasize that point to you guys. Just play fundamentally correct, play disciplined. Okay, it'll pay dividends to you. So that's it for me. I mean, I hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys think that I could have anything to improve on the commentary, like I said, this is my first time. The first time doing somebody else's demo, so give me any sort of feedback that you guys want, anything that you guys saw in the demo, or any comments you guys have at all, any requests, anything at all, guys. So definitely leave your feedback. So that's it for me today. So that's Paradox for JuanSource. Did a ridic keyboard smashers commentary on Contra. So hope to do more of those in the future, and good luck to all of you guys, okay? See ya.